All right, court is calling 2024 CR 6596, State of Texas versus John Swamley. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
All right. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Rene Munoz.
And are you Mr. Swamley?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of abandoning or endangering a child
Yes, ma'am.
with intent to return in both counts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's no application for community supervision, and the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? That the court will review states exhibits 1 and attachments and base my decision on sufficiency of the evidence solely based on those stipulations. Did you understand? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If we may, Your Honor, yes.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly. I would like to, at this time, take the chance to tender this update letter from the Johnny Morales pretrial bond officer since August 20th, Judge. I showed it to the states. It's him completing successfully inpatient treatment at Lifetime Recovery. So he did do that inpatient facility, Judge, and he's been compliant with aftercare thereafter. Also, Judge, he is undergoing a CPS plan right now as a result of this case. And there are parenting classes that he's been attending and will continue to attend as scheduled, as well as drug testing that he's been compliant with, Judge. So you would ask if the court could take that into consideration, be open to the idea of mirroring some of those things he's doing with CPS. An additional thing, Judge, is that he is indigent, appointed by the Public Defender's Office. He's not currently working, so we'd ask for some leniency in regards to the fines, so we can be successful without worrying too much of the stressful nature of the monetary obligations. For that reason, being San Antonio is getting a little more expensive. A lot of things are getting more expensive. He's looking to relocate to Sweetwater, Texas, in Nolan County, Judge. It's things are a little bit more affordable out there in terms of housing. So we're looking for a potential transfer or report by Zoom, if at all possible. It's my understanding it's in Northeast Texas.
I think it West, but I could be wrong.
Northwest, I guess. He's looking to move over there, Judge. But we just wanted to bring those things to the court's attention. He's been sober since March 4th of this year, completed Lifetime Recovery, and I've noticed an extreme change. And when I just first met him as to now staying off and clean of the drugs, he's very much more clear-headed, and he's telling me he can be successful in this probation. I believe that he can be successful in this probation, Judge. So I'm hoping he won't have any further run-ins where he has to see this or any other courtroom. So
that's why I plan on going to Sweetwater.
All right. I've noticed a change in you as well. So here's my question. With regards to Sweetwater, Texas, who do you know there?
We're getting property out there.
All right. Who's we?
Me and my fiance.
All right. How are you getting property out there?
She has a check due to her recently deceased husband.
I'm sorry, what?
She's getting money every month due to her recently deceased husband.
Through some settlement?
Yes. And we're going actually up to Waco right after court here to go click the down payment.
All right. So What is Child Protective Services saying about this?
I still have to get in contact with them. If they say I can't do it, then I would have to stay here.
All right. And who has physical custody of your children?
The mother of my children's cousin, Ashley Ranzinski. That's the last time I've known about it.
All right. And is this a legal case or is this family-based service? Well,
this one's
legal
legal.
case is CPS.
DPS?
Yes. So do you have an attorney?
Oh, yes, yes.
All right.
I do not recall his name at the moment, but I do have his information in the house.
Okay. All right. So you're taking parenting classes?
Yes, ma'am.
What have you learned?
Well, not to leave the kids by themselves for one.
Mhm. Because one of the children is special needs, and to ask your daughter to be in charge of changing diapers, that's a lot for a child that was her age.
Yes, ma'am.
And then that's nothing worse for children when they're at home and they wake up and all the adults are gone.
Very true.
Okay.
And Judge, with regards to that, and sorry to impose, but I think that the drug usage added around this time kind of contributed to making that the most responsible of choices. But I'm hopeful, since he's been staying clean and then he's going to take those classes and be compliant with CPS, that obviously, see the error of his ways.
All right. And so the person that you're hoping to move to Waco with or to Sweetwater with, is that the mother of the children?
No, ma'am.
So you're involved in a completely different relationship with somebody else?
Yes, ma'am. This woman I've known since I was 12 years old.
All right. So and this is me just asking because I need to know what your thought processes are. So when did you reconnect with her?
While I was here in Barry County Jail. The reason I got back in touch with her was because over my life, she was the only one that actually had faith in me and helped me stay straight.
And does she have children?
Yes, ma'am, she does.
And what are their ages?
There's 8 children.
8 children.
Yes.
So are these adult children or are they all?
There's one that's she's helping raise it. Her cousins, she's 3. Next one is 5. Next one is 8, 10, 12, and the other ones is 13, 17. The other 2 are older. One, we consider him a kid. He's actually 26. He's a grown man, but we consider him a kid because he's not all there.
All right.
But he's not hers either. Only 4 of which are hers.
All right. And then how old are your children?
Mine are 9, 11, and she's 14. My oldest is 14, but she's up in North Texas. I've actually recently been staying in contact with her. I haven't been in contact with her for over the years because of the fact I was on the drugs. And since I've been clean, I've been building a stronger relationship.
All right. So this is what I've discovered in my time on the planet. Sometimes relationships work out, but sometimes people enter into relationships when 1, they're homesick, they're lonely. 2, they're in rehab, and then they end up immediately moving on and dating someone else. And it appears to the court that you're basing your stability on this person that you've just got in a relationship with. She has a settlement. So she's going to use that settlement to buy property, which means that property should not be in your name. It's going to be in her name, which means she can put you out anytime she wants. She's bringing you into her life. You have these charges, and she has all of these younger children. And then I'm reading the police report. There was an assault case involving the mother of his children that are in this case. And I know that she was arrested. So we have some violence issue going on that the children are witnessing. So what I can tell you is, at this point in time, I'm not gonna let you move to Sweetwater. And let me explain to you why. Because I don't want people to think, oh, I'm just being mean. This is why I'm not gonna allow him to do that. At the end of the day, when you're on probation, part of your conditions, these are not conditions I made up. These are conditions from the government, and these are your legal conditions that are automatic conditions. You have to financially support your dependents. And financially supporting your dependents is not depending on this new lady that you've met, who you said you've known for a long time, and dependent on her settlement. Because at some point in time, her settlement money is going to run out. And when that runs out, all the issues that you have or that she has are going to rear their heads. She's going to have an issue with somebody not pulling their financial weight.
That's another thing, Your Honor, if
Yeah.
I may.
Yes.
I plan on going up there and getting a better job than I could find out here.
Mhm.
They have better corporations up there that I could actually get a job with.
Mhm.
I have a few applications already put in online.
I think your sole focus should be on your children, getting them over this trauma that they've suffered from seeing their parents being violent with each other, and for having their father leave them alone at the house by themselves, and they're waking up and nobody's there. So what I will tell you, I consider allowing you to move to Sweetwater once you actually have employment and you've shown the court that you can financially support yourself and that you can support your children, because those are conditions of probation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, with regards to the fine, I'm not going to impose a fine because you have children.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So count 1 and count 2 will run concurrently. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. CPS compliance. There will be parenting classes and probation. If he's doing parenting classes through CPS, then that will be acceptable.
Yes.
There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order anger management classes.
I'm in due to take battery classes.
Oh, with
All right.
CPS,
Yes.
you do, Judge, if he does those with CPS, can he show proof to the probation officer to get credit for that?
All right, probation, if you can see what conditions, well, what the requirements are the battery class, then I'll accept the battery class in lieu of anger management. If what they're teaching there is similar to what they're teaching in anger management. And once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be field visits, 1 time per month until further notice. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody, aftercare with lifetime recovery. And where are you staying now?
Casting.
Casterville?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is that a sober living house?
No, it's mom.
All right. So who lives there with you?
My fiance.
Your fiance? And do all of the children live there with you as well?
Indeed. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So whose mobile home is that?
Her mobile home and her property.
Is it their county judge?
Okay.
Is it their county?
It's
Medina-
Casterville,
Medina County.
Medina. And is Child Protective Services allowing you to live there?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I have no idea what Child Protective Services is doing and the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I myself don't have too much experience since it's mainly criminal, but I know you have done that civil family law and CPS, so.
But I don't understand why someone, and I appreciate the fact that you're doing better and you're getting your life in order, but I don't understand why CPS would allow someone with these charges to move on property with a lady who has 8 children who are under the age of 17 to just move in, and we have all these other issues going on.
Yeah, Judge, maybe they're considering the fact that he did the inpatient treatment and he's on a plan now. I can't purport to know what their thoughts are, but seemingly they think that he's okay now. You know, he's learning, moving forward and progressing.
Right. I just can't imagine CPS is going to end up placing your children with you if that's what you're seeking when there are already 8 children in the house.
A lot of mouths to feed, yes, I understand.
All right, then we'll do a transfer to Medina. What do you do all day?
Look for work. I do a lot of side jobs too.
Okay,
I gotta go to work tomorrow too. For total.
all right. And there's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Probation, is there anything else?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Sometimes when people leave inpatient treatment, real life starts hitting them. And I know these conditions will start hitting you. You need to make sure that you have someone who you can call if you're thinking about using. Don't backslide. Don't, oh, it's just one beer. I had, a hard day. Because then next thing you know, you're completely off track. And if you go completely off track, you know what's going to end up happening? Child Protective Services is going to come in her life and look at whether or not she should have these children in her home. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's anything you need, or you have some issues, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Absolutely.
All right. Good luck to you. And thank you for always dressing appropriately for court.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy about your sobriety.
Thank you. I am too.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
dismissed.
Yes. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 3486 State of Texas versus Heather Moore. All right. And are you Miss Moore? All right. We're here. You entered a plea of no contest to count 2. The state waived count 2 without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and the state is opposed to your application for community supervision and for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes,
Defense?
we have, Your Honor.
State, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
State, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Just my client, Your Honor, in brief summation.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right, make sure you keep your voice up so that I can hear and the court reporter can hear. All right, defense?
Ms. Moore, you had entered a plea to this case and are asking this court for a form of community supervision. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Why should this court even consider community supervision for you?
Well, I need medical treatment where I had a brain aneurysm last year. So I've been missing my appointments for my checkups. And this past week I had an incident at the jail. They had to take me to the hospital.
How long ago did you have your aneurysm?
January 24th, 23.
And as a result of that, has that required some substantial life changes for you?
Yeah, I can't see out of my right eye, and I have been going through physical therapy. I had to learn how to walk again, and lucky to be alive.
Have you decreased or substantially changed your pattern when it comes to mind altering substances?
Yeah, I have to stay clean because of my aneurysm, because I can rupture it and it can kill me.
Now, in your PSI, you indicated a willingness to perform any conditions the court required. Is that a true statement?
Yes, sir.
And one of the recommendations perhaps would be drug offender education program.
Yeah.
Are you willing to take urine tests weekly if the
Yes.
court ordered it?
Everything if I have to.
And the amount of medical care required, where do you receive that and how do you receive that?
I get disability. They have me on disability.
And what, where do you go for your treatment or medical care?
The neurologist.
Neurologist?
Yeah.
Okay. And who is that?
Dr. Morton,
And where does he practice?
the Baptist, Methodist Hospital.
Now, as far as living arrangements, have you made appropriate arrangements with family?
Yes, sir.
And tell us briefly, are you married?
Yes, sir.
And who are you married to?
Culture Cares,
How long have you been married?
20 years.
And do you have a close relationship with any brothers or sisters and parents?
Yes, I do.
And where do they live?
Odessa, Texas.
In your pre-sentence report, you indicated that there were some places that you might ask the court to transfer you to.
Dallas, Texas, or Odessa.
And why is that?
My husband is in Dallas and my parents live in Odessa.
And if the court required you to live here, could you find appropriate?
Yes, I have address here.
Now, as far as any type of plans for the future, if you look, say, 2 or 3 years in the future, where do you see yourself being?
Going back to school.
And what kind of school you'll be back going to?
To finish my GED and hopefully try to learn something in college, something. I don't know exactly what I could do, but something different.
What is your goal in life at this point?
Be a mom, take care of my kids.
And when was the last time you held them or touched them or saw them?
5 months ago.
And what's it like for you being in a prison or a cell?
It's difficult because with my aneurysm, I can't have stress. It's the headaches. And if I do, my blood pressure, I'm not really able to get the medical care I need to get.
And did that happen last week?
Yes, I was in the hospital last week. They took me.
Some might say that raising children is very stressful, more so than a jail cell. What are your opinions on that?
I mean, being in jail is way worse because I can't eat right. I can't, keep my blood pressure right.
Do you have blood sugar issues also?
No,
Any other issues that you're aware of?
well, none of them were.
And the medicine, do you know the regimen of prescriptions you're on for your blood pressure and
It
aneurysm?
starts with the I and one of them is nematol and then the other one is baby aspirin and their blood pressure is, I don't know. It starts with the I.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
And how would you get those medicines if the court were to grant you some sort of supervision?
With my disability, the insurance.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell this court that we haven't covered?
No. I just want to be able to get the medical care I need to finish my physical therapy.
Ask the witness.
State?
I only have a few questions. In your PSI, you mentioned that in regards to this offense, that we're doing something, you kind of figured out what it was, and you put your trust in someone. What did you mean by that?
Well, I thought that they were, my friend, I thought they were like family to me, but they turned out it wasn't.
I'm sorry, they turned out what?
It turned out to be something that it wasn't.
Okay.
And as a result of this incident, did you attempt to rectify it with the police department?
Yes,
And did you attempt to help them?
Yeah.
And did you accept responsibility, acknowledge guilt in this case?
yes, I didn't.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any other questions? All right, how old are your children?
She's 6, 12, 13, 16.
All right. And where were your children during this offense?
with my husband.
And that's the person you've been with for 20-something years? So from reading the police report, it appears you knew you were transporting drugs.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I was.
Well, I mean, what do you mean you kind
I
of
mean,
figure?
I knew I was, yes.
Okay. And it was transporting a lot of drugs. Why would you transport drugs?
I was doing a favor for a friend. I was taking something somewhere for somebody and I didn't know exactly. I kind of figured it was what it was, but I didn't think about it.
No, it says in the police report, and I don't know if you've had a chance to review the police report again, but in the police report, you get pulled over.
Yes, ma'am, I knew I was doing what I was doing.
All right, because it says here, I began speaking with S1, that's you, who still appeared very nervous. S1 began speaking to me about where she was headed. I temporarily muted my body cam because S1 began speaking about information, that should be confidential. And then they say that you actually admitted you were transporting drugs and that you knew you were transporting drugs.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't understand when you say that you figured it out later.
Yeah, when I got pulled over, I kind of realized that it was something that, you know,
So you're saying in the very beginning, you had no idea until you were pulled over?
I didn't think it was what it was that I was taking. Cause it was wrapped up, it was like in a box and everything, so I didn't know.
So you're saying that you didn't know what you were possessing.
At first I didn't,
So when did you discover what you were possessing?
whenever they pulled me over.
All right, state. Any questions?
No, Judge.
Defense, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you're saying you didn't know what it was. Do you want a jury trial? All right.
Just want to go ahead and get this over with so I can get on with my medical care.
All right, court will hear final argument, defense.
Your Honor, as the court has perused the PSI, has gathered some information that indicates a client that has physical disabilities and opportunity to provide information to the officers. Also, she has admitted guilt, has had difficulties in this jail system with him getting appropriate medical attention. And we respectfully ask the court to grant some sort of supervision.
State.
Judge, it's a very large amount of drugs. Just from the PSI and just from the police report, the defendant knew what she was doing. Again, that's why the state was opposed to any application, so that's why we're opposed.
All right. So Ms. Moore, I'm considering, of course, the facts of this case. And then sometimes our history follows us around, right? And your history, you've been on probation before and you were unsuccessful, you were revoked. And then this case, it's a lot of drugs.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay.
I'm older now. Back then I was young. I didn't have the resources then to do. But I know I can complete the probation.
All right. So here's my question though. Where was your husband in all of this?
At home,
So he had no idea that this was going on?
you know,
So he had no idea that you had a drug problem? Is that what you're telling me?
no, he knew I had a drug problem.
And he had no idea you were transporting
He didn't know
drugs?
I was doing it.
And has Child Protective Services been in your life
Yes, ma'am.
with your children? And so you're saying your children have been placed with your husband?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
They've always been with him.
So what did Child Protective Services do then?
They just left them, but they didn't ever come to my They didn't ever do nothing.
Okay. All right. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison. To 4 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. I'll request the therapeutic medical unit. With that unit, you'll have to actually request it as well because I have no jurisdiction for them to place you in that unit. But that unit will help you with any drug issues you may have, any physical medical issues or mental health issues. All right, we can go off the record. When you're released from custody, you need to make sure that you get back on track, being clean and sober. You understand? If you have an issue where you can't find a place to help you with that, if I'm here, you can always come back to the court and I'll direct you to a place that can help you. Good luck to you. Who's here? I'm Johnny Ruiz.
President.
All right, where are we on discovery?
Judge, my understanding is that that's put in a request for the discovery, that there may have been a file that was too big to be transferred over.
Okay.
So my understanding is that they put in a request for it to be onto the CD. I don't know what the status of that is, I'm checking on that. And then other than that, the state just needs to speak with Mexican.
Okay. This is going to be the last date for discovery. So if you all need something on a hard drive or whatever you need to, just give it to them so they can download it for you if there's an issue with the download. All right. Ms. Ferguson, put this down for October 28th for discovery.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else that's needed?
No, Your Honor, that's all.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Sure.
Once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Just have a seat and they'll get the reset form to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Eduardo Porter?
That's mine, Judge. You need Mr. Porter up here?
Yes. All right, so where are we on discovery?
I think I'm good on discovery, Judge. Now, my laptop that has all of the discovery crashed, but there might be one video I need to review, but I don't think discovery is the issue.
Okay. All right, State, were you able to tender an offer today or no?
No, Your Honor, we're in the process of trying to still contact the victims, so I
Okay.
did feel comfortable making an offer in this particular case.
All right. Norma, can you put this on the docket for November 4th?
Judge, I'll be on a cruise,
Oh, where are you headed?
Barcelona back to the United States, a transatlantic.
Ah,
So
so
12th,
when will you be back?
I will be back if the flight and everything goes right, I'll be back on the 10th,
All right,
So
and
that's what
when
I
do
said.
you leave?
October 21st.
Okay. All right, put this on November 14th.
November 14th.
And don't be the person who's chasing after the ship.
No. Our cruises, we're with an older crowd.
Yeah.
So we're not the kind of people that get drunk and stand up on the banister.
Yeah,
fall over,
okay.
You know, now people fall over because these people are in their 70s and 80s and the shipwrecks a little bit.
Okay. And your daughter's already an adult now, huh?
Right. Well, she's not going with us. She's staying here.
Oh, wow. All righty. All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Isabel Garza. Hello, John.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Are we gonna have a good season for magnolias?
I live in hope. I've been regularly watering. The way I do it is I flood it for about 2 or 3 hours, sometimes half a day.
Mhm.
In the root zone, so it seems to perk up every time.
Yes. Hello. Hi, I remember you. How are you doing?
I'm doing better, a lot better.
Oh, that is good.
Yes, I got the treatment that I needed.
Okay, awesome. Oh, I'm happy for you.
I apologize about last time.
Oh, no need to apologize. You know what I always tell people? If it's something that,
I took my medicine this morning.
oh, awesome. No, you know what? There's no need to apologize. You know, I think that there are some things that we have no control over. You could apologize for something that you have control over, right? But stuff that you have no control over, there's no need for you to apologize to me. All right?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10646 State versus Isabel Garza. And are you Miss Garza?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Can we go off the record just a moment? Shut up.
Well, that was what was in place before I came on board, when she was in court the last time and, apparently, behaved inappropriately.
Okay. All right, we're back on the record. Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram?
I do.
That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
And do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
As we stated earlier, Your Honor, she was declared competent on Friday by Judge Carruthers after a report by the physicians and workers at SASH. And I haven't seen any indication that she is not competent.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 150 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. And there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I thought it was insightful, Your Honor, that she commented to me when I was going over the plea paperwork. She said, "This is what they taught me at SASH." So, and I commented to her, "Well, maybe you could give this better than I can."
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court is going to sentence you to 150 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, give you credit for any time served, give you credit for any time served in the state hospital. There's to be no contact with Sid Motors at 15066 North Zazamora Street, San Antonio, Texas 78207, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. All right, we can go off the record. So I see in some reports that you're homeless. If you're still going to be homeless, there are places that can help you.
I got my own place.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I got my own place.
All right. And so the reason why I put the no contact order with that location is because in the police report, they first contacted you because they said that you're trespassing. So make sure you don't go back to that place anymore, okay?
They also said that she had a criminal trespass warning at that location, Your Honor. And that was one of the 2 reasons why they were apprehending her and led to the search.
Okay. So make sure you don't go back
Get
there.
back on.
Okay, so you know where that location is.
Right.
Don't go back to it.
Westward.
All right, don't go back there, okay? And make sure that you stay on top of your mental health. If you're taking medications and you feel like it's causing you side effects, let your doctor know, because if they don't know, they don't know, okay?
Right.
And if something comes up and you need help with something, help with housing, help with your mental health, help with any type of drug issues, and you feel as though you can't find a place, if I'm here, you can always come back here and I'll direct you to a place.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
That time, sir.
Yes, you will be out at midnight.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're doing better. Have a good one, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
not, well, we are professional nitpickers, so I guess I am nitpicking. But when you say that she is prohibited from having weapons, that's not exactly true. She's prohibited from having firearms.
No, she can't because there's a mental health flag on my system.
Okay.
Yes, so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I love when people nitpick though. And I don't even call it nitpicking. I always say, if there's something that I can learn, I'm willing to listen.
I just got 15 seconds for COE.
Yeah, no problem. But no, I will tell you the one good thing, well, there are other good things about Odyssey, is that Odyssey will show us different flags for different things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, who's here on Lopez? All right, I have this as being set for. All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 1619, State versus Felipe Antonio Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason, you're about it.
Defense?
Pauline Portillo on behalf of Christopher Castro for Mr. Felipe Lopez.
All right, and are you Mr. Lopez? Do you have any, well, I'm sorry, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Yeah, that's okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Felipe Antonio Lopez.
All right, do you have any objection to this attorney standing in?
No.
All right, State, have you had a chance to review the motion?
I did, Your Honor.
State, do you have any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, you may proceed.
Judge, we're asking for the court to consider amending full house arrest GPS that Mr. Lopez is currently required to have because he has a work opportunity with his father, who is also present and who I expect to call as a witness so that the court can get some of that information about where he will be working. So at this point, we're asking for a downgrade to partial house arrest or tracking only, simply to allow him to work at this point. There's been no violations while he's been on GPS or other pretrial violations.
All right, so here's my question. How long has he been on GPS?
Since he's been magistrated, Your Honor, and I can get that date for you right
How long
now.
have you been on GPS?
About months or 2 months.
Do you have witnesses you would like to talk?
I do, Judge. We'll call Felipe Lopez Senior.
All right, Felipe Lopez Senior.
On this side.
All right, and Mr. Lopez, if you'll move over here. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right, you can lower your hand and state your name for the record.
Felipe Lopez.
Senior?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to state your full name because otherwise the court reporter is taking down the record. And if you just say your name is Felipe Lopez, his name is Felipe Lopez.
Okay.
And we won't have any idea if somebody reviews the record, which Lopez is testifying. So if you'll state your full name for the record, please.
Felipe Lopez Senior.
All right, thank you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Mr. Lopez, how are you related to Felipe Lopez?
He's my son.
And does he live here in San Antonio?
Yes, he does.
Where does he live at?
5938 Mid-Crown.
Oh, well, look, not the address. Does he live with you?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
And so who lives with you all?
It'll be my wife, Felipe, my nephew, and my daughter.
Has Felipe Jr. always lived with you?
Yes.
And what was he doing before he got arrested?
was-
Work-wise?
Work-wise, he was not working. He had quit work to go get his GED.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. What was he doing education-wise then?
He was going to St. Philip's College, working on getting his GED. As far as I know.
Well, do you know if he was actively taking classes?
Yes, he was.
And so just classes, not work at that point.
No, we
Okay.
discussed.
Have you spoken to him about what he would do if he was able to get out of the house and get a less restrictive GPS requirement?
Yes, he's gonna come to work with me.
Okay, and what exactly does that involve? What is he gonna be working as?
He'd be a labor for key constructors.
And how often?
Construction.
Okay, and would he be directly under you or somebody else?
He'd be direct under me.
And about how often would he be working?
40 hours a week.
Hours?
Yeah, 40 hours a week.
Okay, and then is it like a normal 9 to 5 or?
It's depending on the task. It could be from 5 in the morning to 3, depending on what we got going on.
And what exactly are you gonna have him doing?
He'd be a general laborer. He'd be doing my cleanup materials, assisting other carpenters. So he'd be just your general labor, whatever. we
Okay.
need.
And do you know if he has plans to continue with his education at all at this point?
I want him to. I think he's planning on it, but we have to find him night classes.
And why is that?
Because he'll be working with me during the day.
Okay, and then, so does he have any financial responsibilities at home?
Yes.
Okay, tell the court about those.
Okay, he's paying rent. He helps with the light and water bill. And as soon as he gets his driver's license, he'll be getting insurance and he's paying his own fuel. So I'm groceries as well.
Okay, and is it just you and him that contributes to the household
Right now, yes.
financially? Okay, so do you all depend on him to contribute financially?
Mhm.
And are there any other issues with Felipe being restricted to the house pretty much 24/7 right now, from what you could tell?
Yes, there is health issues that we saw that have come up. His depression, not sleeping.
And I'm sorry, when you say health issues, you mean issues for your son?
Yes.
Okay.
He's ADHD and he's been diagnosed with depression and it seems it's been taking a toll on him. It's no longer, since he's come out of the magistrate and all this happened, he's not sleeping at night. He's not as active as he used to be. But then he's confined to his room, so what can we do?
Yeah.
And is he actively getting treatment for some of those issues that you just brought up?
He's taking medication, but right now he has not, other than the counseling that he just went to an appointment with, they did put him on some meds.
Okay. So your understanding is he's receiving medication at least for some of those
Yes.
issues. And if he were to get a less restrictive GPS requirement, is he still gonna be under your care and
Mhm.
control?
Yes, you.
And can you tell the court, how will you assure that he won't have any violations? How can you help assure that he won't have any violations of
Well,
GPS or pretrial?
He'd be at
conditions?
work the majority of the time that he's out. And he's an introvert. He doesn't go anywhere. He's good to be out and about. The only outings he does is when, we're with him. So even now, he doesn't go anywhere. So, so pretty much 24 hours a day, it's at work and at home.
And you're confident that you can keep him on track and out of
Oh.
trouble? And what's your plan for you personally ensuring that he's not going to be a danger to anybody if he's put on partial or tracking GPS?
Well, like I said, he'd be with me pretty much the entire time. So, I don't think he's going anywhere. He doesn't have a driver's license, he can't drive it.
Okay. Do you know if he has any contact with the people he used to go to school with at
No, he
Wagner
doesn't.
High School? And what's his ultimate goal as far as career or professional wise?
We spoke about 3 days ago. He did say that he wanted to go to the service. But there's an issue with, he has to be off his medication for 2 years in order to enroll. So we're trying to figure if that's true or false. We're not too sure yet.
Okay.
Other than that, just working with me and, making some money, better in his life.
Pass the witness.
State?
No question, Judge.
All right, I have a question. You said he's on medication. Is this for mental health issues?
ADHD, he's oppositional defiant.
And you said oppositional defiance?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Also, he was diagnosed with some depression.
And so what does he do when he's at home? Do you have activities for him?
No, he just recently got kicked out of St. Philip's because he didn't go to school.
Okay.
And he couldn't do his classes anymore.
All right,
we
don't
were
they
told-
have Zoom?
Yeah, we were told for him to be off of all computer things, no social media, no can't have contact with the schools, and we'll say for one of them, so he couldn't let them know.
Okay.
That's what kind of like.
I understand. All right, any other questions?
I have no other questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. And again, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Thank
Welcome.
you. Yes, you can step back now. All right, and Mr. Lopez Jr.? All right, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses state? All right, the court will hear argument. Defense, it's your motion.
Yes, Judge. So at this point, we are just asking the court to consider taking this down to a less restrictive GPS requirement so that he can get out, so he can work and provide for the family Dad says they depend on him to contribute financially. He'd be under dad's watchful eye pretty much 24/7, as he mentioned. They don't go out. And if there's any personal outings, he's gonna be with dad. He doesn't drive, he doesn't have a driver's license. Dad's gonna be watching over him at work. You can tell he's a pretty young individual with no criminal history. We're just asking to allow him to get out to do some work, keep himself busy, and hopefully that will detract from some of those depression issues and all that dad testified to within the home. And I think that would overall be a benefit. I don't think that he is a danger to any of the complainants in the case, or would be alleged complainants in the case. He doesn't talk to them anymore. And I don't think that what we're asking for is unreasonable. So at this point, we are asking for a downgrade to GPS. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I am not going to allow you to do tracking only. What I want to let you know is I listen to everything that everyone presents to me. And I looked at the indictment because the indictment is something that I have. I don't have any facts of your case. I just have the indictment and what your charge is. And you told me you've been on this GPS for 1 to 2 months. My understanding, if there were any violations of that GPS in the 1 to 2 months, I would have been given notice of that. So I understand that you have not had any violations. But I think it's too soon for me to place you just on tracking. What I can tell you is if you do well on the agreed, what the state agreed to, which is partial GPS for work and medical only, then your attorney can come back in 3 to 4 months, and then I may place you on tracking.
Okay.
So make sure that you don't violate any conditions, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And state, what about this? Because I don't know any facts of this case. What about the computer issue and his being allowed to go to school? I know the semester has already begun, so it may be, it could not be. It may be too late for him to restart. All right, so Dad, he can, if St. Philip still has where he can re-enroll, he can re-enroll in school, but you're only allowed to use your computer for school purposes only.
Yes, ma'am.
And when I say school purposes only, what I mean is there's an assignment. You can use it for assignments. You can use it to go on Zoom, but you're not allowed to use it to do social media posts or anything of that nature. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And the only messages you're allowed to use that computer for is school related.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be no Googling of, oh, let me see if this store is open. If you do that, that's going to be a violation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So these rules are in place to protect you and also to protect the community, because you can always hold up and say, nope, this is the only thing that I was doing, and this is the only thing that the judge allowed me to do. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand what conditions are now in place for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I'll fill out the order and then you can have them make a copy. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, and we'll see you back on October 24th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.